Okay, so for some of you may have been on my Why Buy Calgary presentations. I'm going to go through it fairly quick. I will share a link in the chat later on where I do have videos of this presentation if you want to go back and watch that video about Why Buy Calgary. But just to introduce myself, my name is Alex Wilson. I'm owner and broker of record at RE/MAX Wealth Builders Real Estate. I've been selling real estate in Toronto for 12 years. #1 RE/MAX agent in Ontario, individual transactions in 2019. Number 13 RE/MAX agent in Canada in 2020, and number 34 worldwide in 2020 as well. Inducted in the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, awarded the RE/MAX Lifetime Achievement Award at 35. I just turned 40 in December. But none of that is relevant to you. I just talk about that so you're like, well, who is Alex? But what's more relevant is when I started investing in real estate, I turned a $39,300 deposit into a $14 million real estate portfolio, which includes 14 condos, a triplex in High Park, and an apartment building in Hamilton. And why that's relevant to Calgary is the first condo I bought, I could buy condos in Toronto for high 2s, low to mid 3s. Now we know those days are long gone. And when I started buying condos in Calgary in 2019, so when I bought my first one, I saw a similar opportunity where I could put a low deposit down and watch that property go up in value. So I'm very transparent with what I have. This is my entire portfolio right here. And why I show this is that here's my current market value. I'm just shy of actually $15 million. But I'm all about buy and hold. So if I just do simple math at a 3% compounded annual growth rate, my portfolio in 30 years will be worth $36 million. Yeah, I just mentioned that I turned 40, so that's when I'm 70. But why I use 30 years is mortgages are amortized over 30-year periods. That means since when I'm 70, my entire portfolio will be paid off by people that have rented the unit from me. And with the beautiful power of compounded interest, I've got a substantial net worth at that time. And it's all about this long and boring game. So if I look at that $36 million, I look at, well, what is that going to be worth in today's purchasing power? That's the equivalent of nearly $21 million today. And again, it's all paid off. So that means I have a $21 million asset to play with. So I look at, well, what if I have just under $21 million and I put a 5% rate of return on that, what annual income can I generate? And that's over $1 million per year. And then if I reinvest, I could live off of $624,000 of that per year. So this is such powerful information to me personally, but also to you, because I want to show everyone the power of investing in real estate for those that may be a little bit new to this or want to learn more. It's all about buying and holding real estate. And when you do that, you build substantial wealth over the long run. You build generational wealth you can pass on to future generations, and you really establish yourself here. And now that number may be seen big, but I broke it down to people in bite-sized bits. So like, okay, well, if I have $1 million real estate portfolio, which is doable, anyone here can do it, that will generate you in 30 years, $70,000 of annual income. If you have a $3 million portfolio, $210,000 of annual income. That's today's purchasing power. That's not the grossed up number. So I like showing that because I want people to know what they can do. And I've dumbed it down even more, or I shouldn't say dumb it down. That's not a positive way to think of things. I've put it in a way that as simple as possible so people can understand is that for every $350,000 condo you have, that'll represent $24,000 of annual income in your retirement years. $24,000. So every single $350,000 condo, that will generate $24,000 for you a year in 30 years when that property is paid off in today's purchasing power. So now that I have everyone in the real estate mindset, why are we investing in Calgary? Well, it's the most livable city in North America for 2 consecutive years, the 4th most livable city in the world, top 5 on the Economist Intelligence Global Livability Index, 2nd lowest cost of living out of 9 of Canadian cities and 9th lowest in North America. Tons of green space. You're in the foothills of the Canadian Rockies. And just circle that, like look at that. 2nd lowest cost of living in Canada, 9th in North America. That is not Toronto. That is not Vancouver. And especially when I look at other cities, 2nd and 3rd tier cities like London, Ontario, where I see townhomes selling for over $900,000, bidding wars in Barrie, Kingston, Belleville. These aren't tier 1 cities. Calgary is the 4th largest city in Canada and the 4th largest economy in Canada. Also, tons of sunshine, most sunniest city in Canada. Lots of bike paths, and ranked 2nd for healthiest lifestyle. So when I started doing my research, when I first started buying in 2019, these were things that were coming up and that were attractive to me. And then, outside of the city, you are in the foothills of the Rockies. So you have Banff National Park is only an hour and a half away. You have 5 world-class ski resorts, world-renowned that people come from all over the world to ski at. And it's a true 1.5 hour drive away. It's not like if I said you're going to Muskoka, if you're based out of Toronto, and it's going to take you 2 hours, but you have to leave at 2 in the morning to achieve that. This is at any time. It's an 1.5 hour drive to Banff. So why am I investing in Calgary? Well, when I look at population growth, you have positive population growth in the city. So when you're investing in a city, you're investing in roofs over heads. So if you're investing in roofs over heads, you want to make sure the population is increasing in the city. So from 2018 to 2019, it grew by 46,000 people, 2019 to 2020, 44,000, 2020 to 2021, 34,000. Calgary also has the highest millionaires per capita of all the major Canadian cities, and it also highest wages in Canada. So I have a positive population growth, and I have the money to sustain it as well because I have the highest wages in Canada. And then when I look at, well, what's my long-term view on population growth? This one blew my mind when I discovered it. Alberta's population is set to increase by 48% and will be larger than British Columbia by 2043. So roughly in 20 years, 2 decades, Alberta's population is going to grow by 48%. Compare that to Ontario, which is going to grow by only 24%, which is still great, 24% growth. But Alberta is going to grow at double that rate. And the net swing in 2 decades, British Columbia currently has 600,000 more people than Alberta. By 2043, 2 decades, Alberta will have 400,000 people more than British Columbia, a 1 million person swing. So again, when we're investing in roofs over heads, these are stats that are relevant to us and are important to us. And then, as we spoke, money is very, very important. So when I look at the economy of Calgary, it's the 4th largest economy in Canada. It's larger than the economy of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Calgary. So you got your big 3, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, then Calgary. So you have the money there, and you also have the population growth. So buy low, sell high. So if you've seen the Cavello pricing starting at $295, the majority of suites are in the $350, $360 range. The most expensive suite in the building is $396,000. That's a 3-bedroom unit, and all those units include parking. So you're buying at a low price point. And why it's a low price point is that oil fell in price in 2014. And when the oil fell in price, you have massive layoffs of the oil and gas companies. Because of those layoffs, demand was impacted. So demand was impacted, you had layoffs in those companies. The thing is, all those layoffs are done. Those are done. There's no more layoffs to happen in Calgary. Now we're at the bottom. We're buying near the bottom of the market. Now we're already seeing growth up. So I don't want to say we're right at the bottom because we're seeing positive growth up. But unlike Toronto, where it's been going like this, and if you're buying in Toronto, which I have no issue if you do. I think Toronto still has a great long-term value, but you've been buying on this. In Calgary, it went down like this, it's like this, and now it's just starting to go up. So now what you're doing is you're buying near the bottom. So you're buying low and will look to sell high in the future. So and that's why I bought there in 2019, because I saw the bottom. I'm like, it can't go lower than this. It physically can't go lower than this. It has to go up. And that was pre-pandemic when I did that. So we saw new condo prices drop 21% since 2017. That's no longer the case, but they are still lower, selling for less than what they were sold for in 2017. And what I want to bring up too is a lot of people ask about the Keystone Pipeline. Don't worry about the Keystone Pipeline because it's an irrelevant pipeline. And you'd be like, oh my God, like Alex, like really, like how is it irrelevant? The thing is that, oops, skipped over too soon. The thing is that pipeline was already canceled once before. It was canceled in the Obama administration in 2015. So when it was canceled in 2015, more supply was built along other pipelines because the Keystone Pipeline was only going to the US. The US is already our largest customer of oil. So when it was canceled in 2015, extra capacity was already built in. We already have enough capacity as it is right now to satisfy the needs for our largest oil customer, the US. The issue with Alberta is that we're landlocked. So you can't easily get the oil out unless you have a pipeline, and the pipeline is going to the US. And what happens when you have disruptions to the oil market, Alberta is adversely affected. Alberta oil is adversely affected more so than other oil prices. The reason for that is that you're only selling to the US. So other countries which are port-based cities that can get their oil around the world, when oil prices drop, Alberta oil prices drop even more because they have a distribution issue. So that's where in 2020 we saw Alberta oil selling per barrel 50% less than Texas oil. What is going to happen though with the Trans Mountain Pipeline, which will complete in 2023, that will improve our distribution and it'll increase oil exports out of Canada by 13%. You're tripling the line to go to Vancouver, and then that oil will then be able to ship out to countries all around the world, because now we're getting into a port-based city and go to oil tankers and go around the world. And that's going to bring us more in line with the global price of oil. So that is the key thing. And the great thing, Trans Mountain is under construction right now. And as Canadians, you all own it because the federal government deemed it as a strategic importance. They bought it and it's under construction. It is happening, scheduled to complete in 2023. And that'll significantly improve distribution of the Canadian oil. And talking about distribution and diversification, let's talk about diversification. And this is, again, another exciting thing. So to give people a background, I'm originally from Sudbury. Many of you may not know where Sudbury is, or maybe you've briefly heard of it. Sudbury is about 4 hours north of Toronto. It's a mining-based community. One of the largest supplies of nickel in the world. Been mining nickel there for over a century. And that city used to live and die by the price of nickel. So when nickel was high, times are great. When nickel was low, times you're in recession in the city. And what we saw happen over the decades in Sudbury is they transitioned their reliance on mining, their resources specifically in the ground in that location to other areas, to the point where when there was a major strike about 5 years ago by Valley, one of the largest mining companies in the world, when the workers went on strike, it didn't have any impact on the local economy because they diversified away from mining. Yes, the people that worked there, they lost income, but it didn't impact the overall economy of the city. When you look at Calgary, even though I pitched those things about oil, and I know when I woke up this morning, was listening to the radio, oil had hit $88 per barrel, which is amazing because now Alberta, on their budget, they're bringing in billions of dollars of extra cash that they didn't expect to be bringing in, which is helping out their overall financial situation in Alberta. I'm going to get more to that later and how this impacts diversification in a positive way. But they're diversifying their economy. So Calgary is ranked in the global top 10 most attractive cities for workers. Calgary has the highest proportion of STEM graduates of all major Canadian cities. That's degrees and programs in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This was because of all of the oil and gas work that was previously being done. But those degrees are also very important in another sector, which is technology. And it has low-cost office space because there's a 20% vacancy rate in the office space in Calgary. This is a good thing. Because what it does provide is that low-cost office space. And now Calgary is home to 435 technology companies. 3/4 of these are startups. There are more than 200 open tech jobs. Excuse me. There are more than 200 open tech jobs in the city, and a record 44,500 Calgarians are working in tech right now. Now, why? Why is Calgary attractive? Well, it's incredibly affordable. I mentioned that 27% vacancy rate. So as tech has grown, so has the number of tech companies that are moving into the downtown, in part thanks to the affordability of office space. So this is how affordable office space is in Calgary. Calgary's downtown leases for an average of $17.50 per square foot. Edmonton, its neighbor city, is 23% more. Toronto is over double at 102% more. And Vancouver is triple at 155% more. So you can rent out affordable office space in Calgary, a tier 1 city. And we've seen the growth in that market. Now, if you're on this call, that means you got an email from me. And if you scroll down the email, because it's more in the bottom, so you might have missed it. If you scroll down to the bottom of the email, I have what I call the good news section in there. And I talk about all these different new hirings that are happening, and it's around the tech sector in Calgary. You have just yesterday, it was yesterday or 2 days ago, Ernst & Young announced that they're opening a new technology hub in Calgary, hiring 200 jobs. Amazon is opening a new cloud computing hub, and this is relevant to Cavello, is opening a brand new cloud computing hub for the West in Calgary. It's just north of where the Cavello location is in the Northeast. Cavello is going to be a 10-minute drive away from this new cloud computing hub. It's going where the Amazon distribution currently is. So the new condos will be 10 minutes away from there, investing $4.3 billion in Calgary and hiring 950 people just north of this location. What else? Royal Bank is opening a technology campus there, 500 new jobs being hired. Neo Financial, a fintech success story out of Calgary. They just opened over 100,000 new square feet of office space in downtown Calgary. We'll be hiring 200 to 400 more people over the next couple of years. It just goes on and on and on. So, well, no, I have this in here. I'm going to keep on. I'm going to get ahead of myself, but you look down that email, and I have some of it here. So, first off, the success of the tech companies. So, Calgary's incubation, some of these startups are coming to full-fledged companies now. So we're getting companies that are hitting unicorn status, which is a company that is valued for over $1 billion. So Benivity is a big startup success story out of Calgary. They just hit unicorn status. You can see this was December 2020. Other recent ones, Solium Capital, that sold to Morgan Stanley for $1.1 billion in 2019. There's a $1 billion deal between Calgary-based medical research firm Parvus Therapeutics and San Francisco biotechnology company Genentech that same year. So we're seeing these startups become unicorns and hit those $1 billion statuses. And what happens when these companies hit $1 billion statuses is two things. Number one, you get big payouts by the founders of these companies, and then they start investing back in their own tech scene because their friends also have tech startups, and they start investing in their friends because they know the success of their local tech startup scene. Then on top of that, you have venture capital funds, other private equity investors, and they're like, well, that one hit $1 billion status, that one hit $1 billion status, that one hit $1 billion status. Where are these companies coming from? Oh, they're in Calgary. I think something good's happening there. Let's go check out Calgary. And then their money starts flowing because they start investing then in these companies as well. And it just continues to snowball. So these are positive things that are happening in Calgary today. And remember, I said low cost office environment. So when I'm a startup company, low cost. So that's music to my ears. High cost. Toronto, high cost. Vancouver, low cost. Calgary. Why don't I open up in Calgary? That's relevant. And also from a living point of view, when I said these condos, 3 bedrooms are highest price unit is $396,000. You can get 2+ dens for the mid threes. These units would be over $1 million in Toronto. They're a fraction of the cost here. So they're the people that work for these companies can actually afford to live in the city and have a higher quality of life and not make 6 figures and feel poor and sleep on someone's couch. And that'll overall contribute to the satisfaction of the employee because they can actually live a proper lifestyle. So here are some other success stories and hirings that I want to highlight. So Simon had fewer than 20 employees in the spring of 2019. Today has more than 200, moving into 79,000 square feet of office space in Calgary, looking to hire an additional 200 to 300 more people in 2021. Halcyon, they started 5 years ago, 3 staff, 68 employees now, plans to have 150 by the end of 2021. They expanded into 20,000 square feet in Calgary. LodgeLink will require 300 new technology-based jobs over the next 5 years in Calgary and require an additional 50,000 square feet of office space. Now, those are your local success stories. Now let's look at some of the international companies that are circling in around Calgary. So CloudExa, that's ESQ's new Canadian subsidiary. They looked all over Canada and they chose to make Calgary their Canadian head office space. Infosys, a global leader, massive, one of the largest tech firms in the world based out of India, they announced that they're opening an office in Calgary and they're going to be bringing 500 jobs to Calgary in March 2021. Mphasis, another Indian-based massive IT company. These are massive IT companies, both Mphasis and Infosys, massive companies. They announced that they're opening their Canadian headquarters in Calgary and going to hire 1,000 new tech jobs over the next 2 years in Calgary. RBC, as I mentioned, I think I said 500. 300 tech jobs to a new Calgary innovation hub. So you have all these companies that are now starting to recognize Calgary and overall Alberta as an attractive place to open up shop. And as I mentioned, E&Y literally this week announced a new tech hub, 200 jobs. How do I know this will continue to happen? It's because it's already happened in the States. So this is not something that I'm making up. I've seen it happen in the States. So we're seeing an exodus of companies from Silicon Valley to Texas. Why are they doing this? And the many similarities we see in Canada, fleeing high taxes. They're leaving high taxes of New York. They're leaving the high taxes of California, and they're going to places like Texas and Florida. Well, Alberta has the lowest corporate tax rate in Canada. From a real estate investment standpoint, there's no land transfer tax or development charges. Yes, everyone, if you invest in a Calgary development, you have no extra costs on closing. Unlike Toronto or GTA and Ontario, where you have land transfer tax and development charges, and they can increase your closing costs by 20, 30, I shouldn't say 20, 30, 40, 50 $1,000, and you have the HST rebate. You don't have to deal with any of that, because you don't have a provincial sales tax. And there's no land transfer tax or development charges. Your only costs on closing are your legal fees, which are about $1,500. Expensive housing. So people can't afford to live in San Francisco, even though if they're making six figures. So now look at how expensive Toronto is, how expensive Vancouver is. Well, people can afford to live in Calgary. Since I started investing in 2019, when I started investing in 2019, I pick up the call if someone's interested in Calgary, and I'd say, why don't you invest in Calgary? Look at this. It'd be like, yeah, it looks, I like your story. It looks affordable. I'll invest. How the conversation shifted in 2021 and now into 2022, when I pick up the phone, the people that are investing are going, hey, I'm an established real estate investor here in Ontario. I really like real estate. I want to grow my portfolio. Problem is, Alex, I can't find anything that makes sense for me in Ontario. I can't find anything that makes sense to me if I go out east. When I look at Alberta, I look at Calgary, things make sense to me. I want to invest. So now I'm getting established real estate investors. We weren't getting those in 2019. And second, from a cost of living standpoint, I get calls, people going, hey, I'm going to buy, I want to move there. I'm getting now the end users, people that are like, I'm going to either cash out and I'm going to move out there, or I can't afford anything here. So I'm going to buy something out there and I'm going to start a new life out in Calgary. I was not getting those calls in 2019. Those are the calls that I'm getting today. So Calgary has the second lowest cost of living out of all major Canadian cities, and then 9th in North America. And government regulation. So this again, why companies are leaving Silicon Valley and going to Texas or Florida. We're seeing investments in funds for innovation. There's no rent control in Alberta. Alberta is a very capitalist-based province by nature. So the same things that make it attractive for companies to move to Texas, the same thing exists in Alberta. And some of the companies that have moved out of Silicon Valley, now they still have a presence there, but they're moving major operations to Texas. HP, 60,000 employees worldwide. Oracle, 135,000 employees worldwide. Tesla, Elon Musk left California. He's in Texas, 48,000 employees worldwide. Dropbox, 2,800 employees worldwide. And I referenced earlier, I talked about the price of oil increasing and the royalties Alberta gets. This slide is incredible. So how do I again know that Alberta is poised to really lead the charge out of COVID and move towards the future and make investments in their future beyond oil and gas? Well, when I look at their net financial debt per capita, AB, that's Alberta, less than 2,500 per individual. Ontario, if I round that up, nearly 19,000 per individual. And this is 2017. This is 2017. This is not factoring in COVID spending. So Alberta, by far the lower than the average of 10,000 under 2,500, and significantly lower than Ontario. And what this allows them to do is they can make the investments to focus on technology, to focus on other areas that they can grow their economy. And this year, because of that unexpected increase to $88 per barrel, which was not in the budget. Their budget was at $60 per barrel. They're getting billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars more into their revenue streams, which is substantially improving their overall financial position today in Alberta, which the other provinces don't have that same revenue stream, that backbone, which again allows them to invest in other areas. And that allowed them, so they have a $10 billion stimulus package, COVID stimulus package that they already enacted. So when COVID hit, they dropped their corporate tax rates. So now they have the lowest corporate tax rates in Canada. So again, makes it attractive for other companies to locate their offices there. So this puts Alberta in a fantastic position to really capitalize in the future and make investments in themselves in the future. Policy, again, I said they're a very capitalist province. So no rent control, no foreign buyers tax, no land transfer tax, no provincial sales tax, no development charges. and that $10 billion stimulus package, which included reducing corporate taxes. So when we've seen projects launch, they sell out, and even from these are 2021 projects. We like the velocity, the interest. Ontario's woken up, and they're like, oh my God, and they see the opportunity now in Calgary. When I would sell, let's say York Towns or Savannah. I'm saying towns, but the Savannah condos as well. We sold out Savannah Towns in 1 month in August. That's 1 day now. If I had 80 towns, and we sold Savannah condos, which was over 200 units. We sold that out last year. We sold Frontier condos out in December. That was 260 units. 260 units in December. That was a downtown location. This project here, these condo projects were selling out in a month, but we're getting down to days. That's where we're at now with these projects. So let me stop my screen share for a second, and let me pull up some Cavello, and then I can introduce you guys to that. So I want to open up. This is Cavello Cityscape. It's located in the northeast area of Calgary. You know what I want to show? Let me show this, because I think this is massive, and I haven't included it in any of my emails in regards to the specific location. I did include that you have that new AI hub happening, but I want to show people. So that the new, not AI hub, sorry, the new cloud computing, that is going, open up here. That's going up in this area right here. We can see the Amazon distribution up in this area right here. Where the condos are going out down in this location right here. It is, I mapped it out, it's a 10-minute drive. So where you have those 950 new jobs happening at the Amazon cloud computing location, we're going to be a 10-minute drive away from that. So I just wanted, because I knew people would ask, well, where is this actually going? It's going in the Cityscape neighborhood, which is right up here in Calgary. And then just outside of Calgary, this is where we're going to have that new Amazon cloud computing location. Okay, so going back here. Oh, yeah, well, here we go on the map. Okay, so Cityscape, that's where it is going right there. Balzac is where that is. So you're looking just right here. That's your location right there. So you're 9 minutes away from an LRT station. That'll bring you right downtown. 25-minute drive downtown, 30 minutes to universities, 1 minute to Skypoint Landing for shopping. But I want to go to the floor plans, because I think they're great. Now, the A model, which is our 2+ den layout, is really a perfect layout. And when you look at this, and I want to show people here, and I've been talking to a lot of people on the phone with this, there is no wasted space in this unit. So when I walk in, I go into this nice large L-shaped kitchen with full-size appliances. And my Toronto condo investors like, what's a full-size appliance? So you get full-size appliances here, L-shaped kitchen, built-in island right here. Look at all that counter space. Then you flow right into the living area right here. Windows in both bedrooms, bedroom 2, bedroom 1, ensuite washroom, walk-through closet, second washroom here, den space here. Like, there's no wasted space. It is a perfect layout, a nice square unit. Again, windows in both bedrooms. just an absolutely incredible floor plan. And when I've been talking to people about this and what we're going to be like with COVID and coming out of COVID, is all about defining space and where can we do different things. If I were to take off my background right now, I'm in my basement right now. I couldn't work upstairs because, as I mentioned, I have young children. My 2-year-old was screaming from the bedroom. I'm like, I can't do a presentation. I'm limited in the different spaces, the areas that I can work in my house because we have 3 children. In this unit, you could be a single person, you could be a couple, and you can really grow into this space. You start with your master bedroom, then you got a spare bedroom, then you could have your home, you could have your office here. Then if you have a child, you could have a child in here. This could be a nursery, this could still be a home office, and you could switch. This could be a child's bedroom. Again, you got the parents here, then you got your home office here. So much flexibility for living in this space. It is truly my favorite floor plan in the building. And these are starting at about 350,000 in the building, including parking, including GST. Then we got the B layout. So these ones here are your small 2-bedroom units. So I didn't talk about the square footage. Square footage in this one is 745 square feet. Then we go here into our 2-bedroom washroom layout. Small little 2-bedroom. This is where for those investors that really wanted to keep maybe a 2 in the number. These were in the high 2s, low 3s for these units. Now we are already sold out of these Bs, but here's our B 2-bedroom unit, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 875 square feet. The C model, again, my favorite models are the A's and the C's. So look at the C model again. Really no wasted space in here. You come in through the door. Now we got a desk set up here, some pantry space and shelving here. Then we go into our kitchen. Then we go into our living area. These 3 bedrooms, it's not showing on here, but it does have windows. All these bedrooms have windows. A 3-bedroom with 3 bedrooms with windows. It's incredible. A nice large balcony. Yeah, 7 feet by 30. That's a huge outdoor space. That's a proper outdoor space. Oh, another thing about Alberta, you can have barbecues in your outdoor space as well. So you got 3 bedrooms, each one with windows, and you can get these for under $400,000. This is just under 900 square feet, 894 square feet. So it is again an incredible layout, and you're getting in on it at under $400,000. Again, it includes parking. And then you got your D layout. So your D layout, there was literally only like 4 of these in the building. So I do not have any of these Ds either. But again, nice rectangular layout, but I don't have any of these units. And what you also get is you get a 2-year rental guarantee on these. Now, when I've been selling the Calgary projects, what I do is I go to the builder and I go, builder, Ontario investors will like the product, but their biggest objection is going to be like, how am I going to rent out this space? I live all the way in Ontario. I'm not close to Ontario. And I go to the builder, if you can take the risk of having the unit rented out, if you can take that off the investor, and if you take that on, they'll be much more inclined to invest. So with the 2-year rental guarantee from day one, you will get, the builder will be renting your unit. So the builder, it's a lease back, the builder will rent the unit from you. The builder will professionally manage the unit for you. It's a completely turnkey investment for you. So you don't need to worry about anything. So these are going to be completed in 2025. You get a 2-year rental guarantee. You're not worried about renting out this unit until 2027. It is completely turnkey lifestyle for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up, stop the share. I'm going to open up the question period. And open up to people. So I have a question from them. They're like, what about Montreal? well, there's Montreal, but Montreal is still considerably more expensive than Toronto. I mean, not Toronto, considerably more expensive than Calgary. So you're still dealing with a more expensive place. We're looking at you've already seen the price jump in Montreal. We haven't seen the big price jump yet in Calgary, which is going to happen. Deposit structure is 5% on signing, and then 5% in 90 days. So only 10% down. That's it. Only 10% down. So again, if you're looking at the most expensive unit, which is $396,000, your total deposit over 90 days is just under $40,000. So you can invest in the most expensive unit in the building for only $40,000. What other questions do I have here? Someone just asking about like what happens after the 2 years. Yeah, after the 2 years, you can continue on with the current management company, or I will have other options for people if they wanted to switch over to a different management company. After 2 years, you're going to have to pay. Typical rate for property management there is about 10% per month of your gross rent. But what the beauty is about Alberta, again, is there's no rent control. So there's no rent control. So if, let's say, you feel your rent on your unit is below market, just increase the rent. You can just increase the rent. The landlord and tenant board in Ontario, which favors tenants, it's not like that in Alberta. So something significant as well. So just gonna go, okay, so yeah, what happens if I want to cancel a purchase after 2 years? Is it possible to transfer? Well, there's no canceling of purchases. These are binding agreements, but there is the ability to assign the agreement, so you can assign the agreement. Yes, so someone's asking which floor plans are available now. We have A's and C's that are available. So if you guys want to ask the questions on the question and answer and not the chat, that would be great. So again, these are official contracts. So you can't just cancel the contract. So if you're buying it, you do have the ability to assign, or you should be closing. And that's where I do the preamble at the beginning, going, you want to build a real wealth. You buy and you hold a property. You buy and hold a property. And if you need to qualify for a mortgage, I have a great video where the title is "Everybody Can Get a Mortgage." There's always a way to get a mortgage legally, always a legal way, different avenues to get a mortgage. Emmett Purry, who's my mortgage broker, he can always assist anyone in getting in a mortgage. So there's always a different way to get a mortgage. So continue, okay. Will there be any management after the 2 years? So again, you can continue on with the current management company that's managing the unit. You just be paying them a fee, or again, I'll have other options for management. There is no specific address for the condos yet because they still need to build the road, so it doesn't have an official address yet, but it's going to be going in the Cityscape neighborhood in Calgary. So basically it'll be residential houses around, and then you'll have the 5-story condo building. We have units available on various floors. So someone's asking what floors are available as various floors. How much is the expected cash flow? We're expecting in the range of just under $200 per month. In regard to a pre-approval mortgage, my mortgage broker can assist you to get that pre-approval. It's not really an issue to get that. Closing will be in 2025. Someone's asking about that. 2025 is when closing is. Are parking stalls available? Every unit includes parking. So yes, parking stalls are available. They're included with the unit, included in the purchase price. Are Airbnb allowed? Yes, they are. You have no issues with Airbnb in Alberta and Calgary. Maintenance fee is 40 cents per square foot. History of the builder, Truman, been around for 30 years, one of the largest builders in Calgary. they're on track to build 2,000 units in Calgary this year. So typically they build between 1,000 and 1,500 units per year. They're on track to do 2,000 this year. 35 years. The highest rated builder for customer satisfaction in Calgary. So Truman is the builder. Are you able to sell the unit on day one when they're ready? Yeah, you can sell it at any time, but again, that's not what you want to do. You want to buy and hold. That's how you make money. If I want to rent the property on my own, will I be allowed? Yes, you can. You can opt out of the rental guarantee program. Yep. Did you say BBQ is allowed in the terrace? Yes, you are. Someone asking no cash flow until 2025. No, you don't get cash flow until you actually have a rent coming in. So there's no rent coming in, so there's no cash flow coming in. Any other payments other than 10%? Nope. 5% now, 5% in 90 days. That's it. Okay, here we go. Just looking at other questions. Is it a concrete or wood frame building? It's a wood frame building, and parking is underground. There are some surface lots, but those are for the B units. Again, I don't even have any B units available. Those are all sold, so it's all underground parking for the A's and the C units. For the mortgage pre-approval, my mortgage broker can assist you with that. That won't be an issue to get the pre-approval from him. Lockers are $5,000. So if you want to buy a locker, those are $5,000. And I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes because I got phone calls that people are already waiting to call. So, oh, my friend Dennis, how you doing? Dennis, our Amit, our guy can help you with that. That's not an issue. So don't worry about that. Dennis wanted to give you a heads up. Hey, questions, more questions. What is the vacancy rate in Calgary right now? Vacancy rate in Calgary is 6%. How much is the 5% deposit roughly? Depends on what the purchase price is. So the max 5% deposit in the building will be just under $20,000. That's your max. That's your max. But from what's available, you'll be anywhere between 17.5 to just under 20,000, because you're going to be looking at, from a purchase price perspective, around 350 to just under 400,000 for what's left in the building now. Which again, if you look when you looked at the floor plans, like they're such good floor plans. Those units are really good. Someone asking me how much is expected to go up by 2025. I have no crystal ball for appreciation. What I do know is that I just look at a 3 to 5% annual growth rate on all my investments. And if it goes up more than that, then I'm ecstatic. But where I've seen substantial growth on the freehold market. So I've seen houses go up by 100,000 already in Calgary, and the condo market follows right behind the houses. So you have a lag of about 6 months, from 6 months to a year when you see housing prices jump, then you see condo prices jump. The reason for the lag is that then people can't afford houses anymore, so then they switch over to the condos. Construction, once they get it all sold, construction would start this year, and then you'd be looking at finishing it in 2025. Someone asking for a recording. Yay. Yes. I love seeing my friends on the call. Yes, there'll be a recording of this. I will be sharing that. What risks, if any, do you see in this project? I don't see any risks. Because I'll say again, and I love it. I have some investors from other markets on here, some established investors. I challenge anyone on here to go in Ontario and find a pre-construction property priced like this. Plus you get the rental guarantee. Yes, yeah, someone's asking about assignments allowed. Yes, it's free assignment. You can't get this. It's not possible. It's Jerry, Like, yeah, like Jerry's in St. Catharines. Like, it's the London, Ontario, $900,000 for a townhouse. London, Ontario. That's how I know Calgary will go up. And I'm on the phones. I spoke to a lovely couple last night. They may even be on here tonight. I don't know. A lovely couple. You know, I was so passionate talking to them. I get so excited. They're moving to Calgary, and I'm so excited for them to move because of the affordability there and the lifestyle that they can live. I've asked my wife if we can move there. She said no. But again, I'm in a different situation. Again, 3 young kids, family here. Our roots are too tied down. We're not going. You know, I turned 40. It's not on the cards for us. But if you're a younger family, or if you're in your 20s or you're in your 30s, you know, why wouldn't you go? You know, or if you're a single individual and that's older and living in a higher price market, again, like, you know, again, you sell your end townhouse in London and go move to Calgary. Or I have people in Ottawa leaving Ottawa going to Calgary. I definitely have people from Toronto leaving Toronto going to Calgary. Like it's an incredible opportunity. Do foreign investors need to put a higher deposit down? No, they can buy with only the 10% deposit. Okay, someone asking, 2-year rental guarantee, can we 100% rely on the statement? Because we were talking about, yes, yeah, no, it's a 2-year rental guarantee. I've sold hundreds of these, and I've sold people on this obviously someone new. Yeah, there's people on this presentation right now that have bought with rental guarantees, and I already have had properties close with the rental guarantees, and people are using them right now. So yes, there will be rental guarantees. That is not an issue at all. And again, the builder Truman, highest level of customer service in Calgary for a builder. You know, they want you to buy more. They want you to have a good experience, because they know if you buy one, you have a good experience, you're going to buy another, and you're going to tell your friend to buy one too. That's what they want. I got a call. I was on with the owner earlier this week, and that's exactly what he said. He's like, I want repeat customers. He wants repeat customers, and he wants to continue. It's a multi-generational brand. The father started the company, and there's 4 sons, and 2 of the sons are in the business. One's on the sales and marketing side, and the other one's on the dealing with the trades. And I'll add this for my more experienced people on this call in regards to building or in the building industry. The builder Truman owns their trades, so they don't contract out their trades. They own. I should say the majority. There's a couple they don't, but they own the majority of their trades. Whereas other builders will contract out to a PCL construction, that kind of thing. No, the builder here, they control their trades. They control the quality of that is being built in the building. So at that, it is now 8:30. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm just going to double check the Q&A to see if I missed anything here. Yes, you connect with my mortgage broker. What are the risks of the project? There really isn't any. No more risks in investing anywhere else. For the first-time home buyer, isn't it only 5% even for free construction? No, 10%. When you close, you could close with as little as 5% and get a 5% back from the bank. The thing is, it doesn't matter if you're a first-time buyer or not for the deposit. The builder requires a certain amount of deposit for them to get their construction financing. What kind of rent you guarantee? How much percentage of the investment? You know, if you go in the email, because if you're on here, you got the email, you'll see the investment analysis for the rental guarantees. And free assignment. There is free assignment. So I'm going to wrap this up now. Thanks for everyone. So I will be sending this out to everyone, the recording. And if you are interested in this project, you obviously have my email. I'm just going to put it here. Chat. Just a second. I'll put my email and my phone number in the chat, just in case for some reason you got on here somehow else and didn't have my email about Cavello. Here's my phone number. Text me if you want me to text you immediate information. Alex, I need availability, the availability of units right now. text me your email. My phone number is there right now, 416-996-5181. Text me your email. I'll email you the live availability list in the building and the next steps to secure a unit. I have already people that have booked calls earlier today, so I need to get to them now. Thank you so much for coming online. I love doing these presentations, and it makes me so excited when I see past Calgary investors on here and taking time to hear me speak. So thanks so much for coming on, guys. Okay, I got to run. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.